Shalom everyone, welcome to this channel. Today I'm going to share with you a testimony, but before that I would like to ask your kindness to include us in your prayer. I don't know how to say it. I don't it's really so hard, but I wish to say it's a blessing, but say with our situation of having filed bankruptcy and we're now paying about 2,300 house mortgage every month and 1,700 see for the trustee. That's the one who is responsible for the bankruptcy. So we're paying every month about 1,700 plus 2,300. It's about $4,000, and so life is really hard. And so I don't know how to say it, but I know Father YAH has a reason of everything that he's doing. So I would like to announce that I am pregnant for more than 9 weeks now, and so sad. I would say my health condition is not so good, so I don't really know how things will go because I had surgery, if you still remember, last year, and out of that I'm experiencing numbness in my right part of my body, like my left arm, left leg. And so I would say my pregnancy this time is really quite hard, but I don't know what's this when I still visiting, is that correct grammar, is a chiropractor. This numbness went away, but 3 months after I stopped going there, it came back again. So I don't know what's really the problem with my body, and I don't know what's this. I tried to ask my surgeon the last time I visited to him if it's fine for me to do even natural birth, and he said it's fine. But I would really say my pregnancy this time is not that easy. And as I already, if you what's my testimony, I've shared with you that I had seizure last May 4, and supposedly I would have my MRI last July 4, but I don't know what word to say, so sad or it's a blessing, I don't know. Maybe only time can tell. It's really not our intention to be pregnant, and we're doing what is natural birth control, but we try really to be safe and say we just usually have a contact as a couple, say every ninth, until every ninth for my menstruation period. And I know that's safe because we've been practicing that for quite long time. And I really don't know what YAH's plan, why all of a sudden, even though we're in that safe, say a contact, a marriage contact, should I say, a sexual contact in the safe period, but still I get pregnant. I really can't explain why, but somehow I am also excited because, say, of all the women in the world, he chose me to carry this life. And what's this, my inspiration is the life of Moshi, because I remember supposedly last year, should I say, before or I guess it's even within this year, before the what's this before the what's this before the I don't know what right word to use, before this problem, I guess it's the thing that's in my mind now, of this COVID-19. We really had a plan to have another child. We're looking forward by November this year. So the child will be born by the time Zephaniah would be 3 years old. But then, what's this? All of the sudden, this COVID-19 came in, and so we changed our mind, thinking, I guess it might be the end of time. And so I guess it's not good to have a child anymore. And much more when we finally decided to file bankruptcy and knowing the situation that we'll be paying that big amount of mortgage plus the trustee fee. It's really really big for us. It's really so hard to survive now with our finances, I would say. But I really don't know what he has planned for this life. And the inspiration, as I said a while ago, is this meditating on the life of Moshe. So why is it that Jochebed, the mother of Moshe and his father, had Moshe in the time we're in? See, if we can see the situation, the moment that Moshe was born, there's a massive killing of the Israelites children, especially the boys. And so if we see that scenario, supposedly Jochebed do not have Moshe if she would have a choice because of the situation. And what's this? And same thing I had now in my mind, that if by our decision, by our mental capacity, we will really not choose to have this life because of the situation. But then I guess there's also in one of my videos I said that in the book of Genesis, there it says that the descendants of Israel will become as numerous as the dust of the earth. And I guess I end that video by saying that until the number of the descendants of Israel will not reach as much as the number of the dust of the earth, and there will still be an Israelite that will be born. So maybe there still need to be a Israelite to be born. And I don't know what is planned for this life in my womb. Maybe this life only wants to witness, to see the earth, what's going on with the earth. I guess this life wants to witness this chaos of the world that's going on now. That's the thing that I inspire myself with what's going on. So if seeing my situation now financially, health condition wise, I would say if I were to judge, it's really not a wise decision to have this child. But I know I'm a human, and in Father, yes, I don't know what's in his mind. I'm just hoping and praying that this will not bring end to my young life, because I still want to be with little Zephaniah, with my husband. I still wants to serve him, and so that's the reason why I'm asking for your prayers. And I would really greatly appreciate if you include us in your prayers. Anyway, so let's move to the testimony that I'm going to share with you today. And say another thing that makes me, remind of this testimony is this thing. So, on other way round, my husband been blessed by Father YAH with a permanent job. And so, what's this? Because of the job, we're able to have an insurance that can help with our situation now. And Father YAH even blessed him with a work that's increasing every year, and my husband will be receiving bonus every year too. That's will depend on his salary or his pay, and so as his pay increases, bonus will increase too. So that's, I thank and praise you for that provision. And what's this? And let me go back with the thing that I said, what reminds me of this thing. So I remember by the time I give birth to Zephaniah, we're really in this situation too. I really don't know what YAH is doing to my life. Why is it that he always entrusts life to me? in a situation that seems really impossible to raise a life. Maybe he wants to show to me and to the world that he is the one who starts the life in our womb, and he who, what's this, the song that says, he who begins the good work and you will be faithful to complete it. So I had my first child at the age of 36, and in a situation that we don't have any insurance. My husband at the time didn't have a permanent job, and so no one would like to accept us to, because we don't have insurance. I remember we tried to ask for government's help at the time too, but they also refused us. And so ended up I reached at my womb 5 months or 6 months already. I remember I gave birth to him just 38 weeks, and it's August 7, and I had my first prenatal by June. I forgot the day, but I know that's June already, and just 2 months after I already gave birth. And I remember there's one midwife that what's this declined when we tried to approach her. Supposedly she's the nearest midwife to our place, because say I'm already in my, I forgot how many weeks I'm pregnant at the time, and in her thinking that's already too late. But somehow she really challenged my faith that when she declined to us, I realized that why is she like that? With even that question that really make me feel insulted, because she asked me if I did not know that I'm pregnant, and I really felt like insulted, because in my mind I tried to shut up my mouth. To deep inside I was truly hurt. I felt like, do you know I felt like I wanted to ask her, do you know the reason why? Because I guess the reason why she don't want to accept me, because my tummy is already so big, and I'm 36 years old, and that's my first baby. And so she put me in a situation that's really hard for me to give birth, and so she don't want to take a rest. I guess maybe because she's protecting her name. And so when she asked me if I did not know that I'm pregnant, in my mind I said, do you know that I'm teaching science reproductive system for about 10 long years? Do you know that I'm not an idiot? I'm rich. Say I get married at 34 and have this child at the age of 36, because I really had the desire to say to be a professional, to have my own work, because I want really to give a good life to my children, and that's the reason why I married at old age, and I really choose and pray the husband that I would married for. I did not just go just like any other woman, just go without thinking. I remember when I was still single, every time I saw a man courting me, my question really is, what if I die after I give birth to my child? Would I leave it to someone that would really take care of the life I'll be carrying with? So what makes you think that I did not know that I'm pregnant? And so anyway, she challenges me to believe that as I meditate, when after she rejected me. I remember that the woman who first gave birth did not have midwife at all. So then I realized that the one who really give deliverance or give birth is not a midwife. It is our Creator. The one who begins the good work in our womb is the one who gives deliverance, okay? And so I know that He will help me to give birth to Zephaniah, and hallelujah. It might not be that easy that I went through giving birth to Zephaniah, but if you can see Zephaniah now, he's so adorable, so healthy, and so smart, and I praise Him for all that kindness. And same thing I feel this time, and so sad this time again, she rejected us after knowing that I have seizure and I have this health condition. And so I really don't know who will accept us again. Somehow at Zephaniah's time, yeah, provided as a midwife was, I would say, a better understanding than her. This time, I don't know who Father Yah will provide for this life. And I will just say that the word of my nanay, my grandma on my father's side, she was an orphan at the age of 5 years old, and she got married to a man who was, say, abandoned even in his conception. And so the one who, I don't know if the word is take good care, because instead of taking good care of him, he was uh, ben when his stepfather would try to discipline him, he will use the rod supposedly to be used for the horse, but he used it to my grandfather, and so he ended up my grandfather stalk away or leave the home of his mother and his stepfather and go to the relative of his father. And so there he met my grandmother and they got married, and life is really so hard because my grandmother was an orphan at the age of 5 and he was abandoned since conception, and contraceptive was not born in their time yet. And so my grandmother able to bore 16 children, and 13 of them really reached to their good age, I would say. The last, my aunt who died last time, I'd say the age of 48, and all of them right now are still alive. The 12 of them, the 13 who reached at her 48 of age. And so this 13 of them really grow up in good age. I would say if 48 is a good age already. Let me look for something to wipe my nose. Okay, so this is the thing that I learned from my grandmother. Every time she learns that somebody is getting pregnant and is planning to have abortion because of the hard situation, she would always inspire us not to do so, and try to look at her life, and she would say that the life that grows in our womb are not ours. We are just but a trustee, and if human knows how to take care of life, much more is the one who planned that life to grow in our womb, and he will provide, she would say. And meditating these weeks, I would say, or last week, I guess this week, I remember this nice song that say, "YAH has the solution" before we had a problem. The time I hear that song, I'm thinking, what was the author trying to say? And then I remember when I was still working as a teacher, especially with the subject mathematics, you can give a problem to your pupils, to your students, that you don't have the answer. And so it's then I remember, yeah, that's what the author, the one who write the lyrics of that song. Because if we human teachers know how to give a problem, that we had the answer, that we had the solution, much more is our great teacher, our creator. With every problem that we face in life, I know he had the solution, he had the answer. We just don't know, it might not be visible in our eyes yet, just like my pupils or my students before. The answer, I will not show it to them yet, but I had the answer. They might be troubled, they might not know how, might find their own way how to solve the problem. But I had the answer, just like us. We might be so troubled, so worried, but thing that is for certain, YAH has the answer of all our problems. He even has it already before we had the problem. And so that's the thing that I'm holding on to this time. He has the solution, the answer. This is a problem that we are facing this time. And I know before we met the one he chose to help me deliver this life, he already had him or her in his mind. And so with that, I able to reflect my life. So if you watch my video on the steps in my ladder of faith, where I share there with you how we met this, how we able to have this faith, and there I shared with you that my father chose to have this faith instead of the offer of a good life for us. And so because of that situation, he ended up to live as a farmer without having any tools at all. I guess the only thing that he have at the time that he decided to leave Christianity, that because at the time he and my mother were working as pastors, and so I guess the only thing that they had are clothes, his books, and fare or money to go back from the place of my mother to the place of my father, and that's just the thing that he had at the time. And then went to the mountain and lived there as a farmer without having any tools at all to start the life of a farmer. But he's just like a man in the book of the gospel that when he found that wealth in the land, he sold everything and buy that field where he found the treasure. And same thing with my father after he found the name of our Creator, after he learned that the name of our Creator is not Lord and we shouldn't call him God, as his instructor taught him in the Bible school. When he learned the that our Creator has a name and it's in Hebrew, and at the time he learns the pronunciation as Yahweh. So he decided to leave, left Christianity and start to search more about that faith. And finally, Father was so kind. If you watch my video, he finally landed. I finally found the house of prayer who worship the name of our Creator in the Hebrew name. I'll not say it's Hebrew name because he just have one name, and that is Hebrew. Because if I'll say Hebrew name, you might think there's an English name, there's a German name. No, he just have one name, and that's Hebrew name. Okay. So life was really so hard for us. Maybe let me just try to remember how hard of life so you can picture out. So I already can remember things when the first time I eat the rice. Yes, so I remember at the time, most of the time we're eating this root crops we call it lutia, but I guess here you call it taro. It's a type of taro, I guess, but we call it lutia. And then unripe banana, we'll dry it, and it's our source of carbohydrates. And we'll just go for some leafy greens that grown by nature. We call it hagpa, and this type of taro leaves that's somehow very nutritious. We called it gabi. That's also a type of taro that we call the gabi, and we call the leaves of it dakan. And so that's the common thing that I'm eating at the time. So somehow I am so glad that my mom was really born to be with that skill of small business. She loves to find a way to earn money. And so I remember at the time she will grow some cassava and some sweet potato and then sell the leaves of the sweet potato and make some delicacies out of cassava called suman. And she will sell that so we can have money to buy some salt, some small say essentials of that that life. And I would say that not until I become a teacher and receive my salary. Until then, we're using this lamp we called kerosene lamp that's made out of can that you need to put kerosene there uh, to give it light. And so that's really how hard my life was, I would say. I will not say that my life is any, I would say it's better, but I would say, I guess, when we choose to be a servant, when we choose to witness our Creator, as the book of Revelation say, it be that our cloth will be the sackcloth or cloth of mourning. I guess sadness, struggle should always be a cloth that sometimes give us tears to our eyes, because our real wealth, it's not in this temporary life, okay? And so that's really my life. I even remember one time at the age of somewhere 9 years old, it really come to the point where at the time my mother learned to sell some picture frame, and she received some, I forgot the term, like there's some percentage of how much she can sell that she can receive out of it. And she went to quite, I guess, quite far from what we lived for, and it took her many days before she able to come back. And so at the time we ran out of food, and so my father tried to find way to give us something to eat. And he looks for some friend to borrow some money, but what we call this one already said minalas, like it's really, he didn't really able to find one. That he ended up going to a coconut farm looking for this what they called abnormal coconut that will say will fall even it will not reach its maturity, but somehow you can already eat it. That's just the thing that he able to bring us home. And there were five of us who eat that one coconut for the whole day. So I really went to that very hard life, I would say. But I would say that I don't consider that as really worse. I am thankful for the thing that I went through, because that makes me closer to our Creator. Why I say that? Because I remember my everybody would not like what I went through. But at the age of 13, I graduated at the time a second honor. And then because of the poverty that I went through, it builds up inside of me that I want change. I can't let my life be like this forever. Because at the time, I remember we really went to hard life that we even give up Shabbat. So sad. Why? Because if we will not work on Shabbat, we really don't have anything to eat. We need to ask for our neighbor if they will ask if they need somebody to do laundry for them, if they need somebody to do weeding or pulling their grass off their ground, to do work in their farm like cornfield, sugar cane field. And after graduating a second honor in elementary, I realized that Father blessed me something that I could use to change our life, should I say. And so the dream started in my heart. Because at the time, see, if you're going to graduate second honor, you're going to receive, you will have a privilege to have 50% of the tuition fee for the, say, high school. You will not pay for it, or you will receive what we call scholarship, okay? So when I had that opportunity, I'd realize that Father give me a chance to change our lives. So at the time, worst, I don't know, but this is really the truth of me, and I'm not ashamed to say it, because for me, saying it is making my Creator great, because that that makes me say to the whole world that it's not me, it is His mercy, His kindness, and His love that make me who I am. And then another thing, at the time, I remember, okay, before I forgot, this was really a funny thing, but my graduation since high school, elementary, high school, and college is associated with celebration of sardines. So, what's this? I remember my classmates during our graduation, their parents would do some celebration for them. But then I remember during my elementary years, I went I went to our graduation first alone, and my classmates, they were taking care of their parents, putting makeup on them, putting nice clothes. And funny at the time, because we are required to wear white clothes, and my mother couldn't really find the clothes for me because we really don't have money, because I must be shameful to accept, but the truth behind us, it's really my mother becomes the breadwinner of my family. Maybe in another video I can share with you uh, further about the thing. The thing, because the thing really made me a rebellious daughter of my father at the time, until I fully understand things. Okay, well, at the time, since we are required to wear, wear white clothes, so my mother, and my mother at the time gives birth, so she can't really find money to find clothes for me. And life, usually if she gives birth, life gets harder because she can't look for some money. And so what she did is she looks for a white clothes from her neighbor, and so sad and quite taller than the one who owns the white clothes. It's quite shorter for me. And so what my mama dad did, he looked for some old white clothes, and added to the clothes, so it will not show because it's almost half of my leg. And so she add that old white clothes, to it will reach up, so it will cover my knee, let's say like that. And it really looks so ugly because the the clothes that we borrowed is so nice and so new, and the one that my mother added to it is old and ugly. And so just imagine how I look like. And I just went there alone by myself, so just combed my hair. And funny, I even have my speech at the time, I remember. And my mom just came there late because she had our I guess our my fifth sibling at the time, and she don't even have a fair going there. I need to find some place to put my back because I'm hurting. Okay. And what's this? It's fine here. Okay. And so, uh, when we came home, when all my classmates having their celebration with nice food, we feasted on a can of sardines. And my mother started to beg me already that I need to stop schooling at that time because we really don't have money. But I remember when I had my speech at the time, I received 5 medals too, for being the declaimer of the year and for being the top notcher of, we have there at the time, national achievement test, and I the one who had the highest score, and so I had the top notcher medal. And also in 2 subjects, I had the highest score, so I had it as my medals too. And and I forgot the other medal that I received at the time, and my second honor medal. And so and maybe this is the reason why I really don't judge white people just like any other people, though I'm a brown skin people, race, I would say, because I remember the time I didn't forgot his name. I don't know where he is now. His name is Bill Dewitt. He happened to be there in my graduation, and maybe you've seen my situation. I don't know. Can you imagine a 13 years old preparing her own self to attend graduation, combing her own hair, and been sweating so much and doing my speech. I really get scared, and with my clothes, with that the upper is so nice and the bottom is so old. And so maybe that white man really know what I went through, and maybe I amaze him how I able to have that 5 medals. And good thing somehow my father loved to talk with English speaking people, because they were trained to during their Bible school days, because their Bible school was funded by the white people, should I say. And so he was trying to speak with them, and so he able to converse with that white man, Bill Dewitt, who was present in that time. And so he gave my father 500 pesos, and he said it's for my 5 medals. And so when my mother started to beg me to stop going to school because our life was really so hard, I told my mother to keep that 500 pesos, but it really didn't went through as I planned, just because I wanted to be used as my tuition fee, because I still receive half scholar for the high school. And so what's this? Life is really so hard. We sometimes really need some food on our table, need some kerosene and other necessity. By the time of the enrollment for my high school, we just left 100 pesos for that 500 pesos. And so my mother already keep going, trying to ask me not to pursue my high school anymore. But then, looking at the scenario that we need to go to any cornfield, any farm field, sugarcane field, just for us to survive, would even give up our Shabbat for us just to have something to eat. I can't really accept that that would be my life. I'm thinking that if I'll not go and study anymore, then that would be my life. And if I'll gonna grow up a laborer in farm, then who shall I marry? Someone who's working in the farm to a laborer in the farm, I'm thinking. And I say, Father, yeah, bless me with this intelligence. Why should I not use it? And so, what's this? Meditating on the things they're teaching me since when I was during my childhood, I would say. Then I remember that they taught me that Father Yah is so powerful, owns every wealth of the world. And then I remember the cashier in one of the grocery store. I've seen her counting lots of money. And so I told my Mother, haven't you taught me that Father Yah owns the wealth of all the world? And haven't you taught me that I am his daughter, and you are just but a trustee of me? I really want to go high school. I don't want this to be my life. And if indeed I am his daughter and he owns the wealth of the whole world, then I've seen the cashier counting monies there, and so that money is from him. That is him. That is, he owns that money. And so if I am his daughter, I'm going to ask him, Mother, to finance my high school needs. And so my mother can see anything with my faith, other than she left no choice but to walk with me going to the place where there is a high school. And then when we reach there is what we call, I forgot the term, but you need to give down payment, and then you need to let the registrar or cashier, I guess registrar or cashier, you need to let them know, I guess both of them, you need to let them know you need to pay for the down payment, and you need to let them know when are you going to start paying or to pay the tuition fee, because I'm there's the nearby school to us is just a private high school. And so we couldn't say any word, because my mother even told me that time, you're growing so tall at this time, and you're say you don't even have clothes to wear to go high school or to go schooling. And what are you going to wear? What are you going to eat as food to bring to the school, because you need to bring food for lunch? And I really told her, even if I'm going to bring taro or unripe banana at school, I'm really that determined to go school. So seeing my determination, he left no choice. As I said, we went there. And so somehow, I guess the registrar, I guess it's the cashier at the time, the treasurer of the school, seeing my determination and seeing how helpless I am, she remembered that because her husband works as barangay counselor at the smallest unit of community in my place, and she remembers that her husband once told her that they are planning to make scholarship for the children in our place that's really suffering too much from poverty. And she told me to inquire about it, how's the progress of it. And so we went there, and yes, mercy, when we went there, it's really on the progress, and they are receiving applicants. And so I am one of the applicants, and to make the story short, I ended up received the scholarship. And it's a very nice scholarship, because even the uniform they already provide for you, your school supplies like your backpack, your notebooks, your papers, everything they provide. And after I realized that that is YAH's way, his finance with my faith that he owns everything and I am his daughter and he will provide for my need. And so hallelujah for that. And that's how I'm able to finish my high school. And I would really say that that scholarship is just for me, because after I finished my high school, I guess it was made because of the youth leader at the time was really strong, so determined to make the scholarship too. And after I graduated high school, he's not youth anymore, so there's a new youth leader, and it's not as determined as him. And so that scholarship was also gone or lost and did not cease to exist, I would say. And that really makes me believe that it's just really YAH's way plan for me to make me able to finish my high school. So I greatly praise YAH for that. Now let's move to my college days. So during my say fourth year, I'd start to look for scholarship again, or maybe I'm thinking before even my fourth year college. I guess I've shared it with you with my last video. I'm really determined to change our lives. And so as I said, I joined with in my previous video, I joined with these trainings, citizen army training, so I can join military, so to change our lives. And then I guess it's not yes way for me, because as I already said, I in the last part of the training, I went Stipnik for 2 months. Just wonderful that Father delivered me from the fangs of that, because as I said already, there's a dancer who have the same experience of me and he dies. And so during my fourth year, I already, since I've seen that, I guess it's not the way of our creator for me to be a military. So I'm thinking I would start seeking for scholarship, because maybe that is his way for me. But then I forgot his work, as after the graduation in my grade 6, so I tried to look for colleges that will accept scholarship. And then I really have this one college, that school that the offer. I'm really looking for a scholarship that will finance me in almost everything, because I know my parents are really struggling so hard to finance my needs. And so there's one scholarship I know that's for the native of Bukidnon, that's in that certain college. And so I'm really forcing myself there to get in, but then I fail in their examination because they are more of training the students for English language. And so their examination, there were about 50 questions that what you're gonna do is going to say your answer in English and in grammar, and they will require you to still do your answer in this. Say for example, this certain question will require you to write your answer in 50 words, in 25 words, and I must admit I'm really poor in English. I don't like that so much. I would say if taking an examination, I prefer less words, the more I can understand it better. So I would say I love abstract questioning rather than making my answer state in 50 words and 25 words. Oh my, I will get crazy with that type of examination. And so that's the reason why I failed the examination. But there's one university that I'm able to pass, but then I'm thinking at the time that they didn't have the scholarship that I'm looking for. So after all my efforts fail, because at the time when I tried to apply for the scholarship, we were waiting for the result of my say examination. And then after the examinations result shows, and it shows that I fail, all my efforts I thought fails too. And so I already give up my mind that I can still pursue college. And so I just went to my grandparents' farm and tried to pick up a fallen coffee berries, and I'm thinking I'll try to earn money out of that, and went to the city, and maybe I can look for some place there to work, and I'm planning to work one semester, schooling for the next semester. And then when I'm in that situation, I never know that our creator has a better plan. And so I had a best friend, and then we are really in great competition because I graduated as first honor, he graduated as second honor. And then he both of us were really both pushed by our parents to want that school that I said I failed, or that college that I failed their examination, entrance examination. And while I am sad that I failed with their one entrance examination, my best friend was really enjoying. He's celebrating. Let me say that way. He's celebrating. Why? Because he really don't want to be a teacher, and in that school, there was this there was they are really good at this teaching profession. That's really their, what we call this one, their school is really known as good trainer for that profession. And his parents really want him to be a teacher, but he really didn't like it because he had this bad penmanship, and so he really wants to be an engineer instead of being a teacher. And so since both of us also pass in that university that we took entrance examination to, and so since he failed in that college, certain college that we both applied for a scholarship, and we also both say take their entrance examination, his parents now would cannot push him to go in that certain college school, but he left no choice but to go for that university. And so when he went there, he found an announcement posted in the wall there in that university, announcing that the vice president of that university is looking for a scholarship out of the children of the tribe of Bukidnon. And it really even say give better opportunity than the scholarship that we are applying for in that certain college school that we fail in the entrance examination. And wonderful thing with this best friend of mine, do he know we will be in competition who will get in with that scholarship? He really never fails to share the opportunity with me. And to make the story short, I am so glad even though I am just a half Bukidnon because half of my blood is a Cebuana, the vice president of university. I guess maybe you've seen my black hands from picking coffee berries, and still I had the courage to face him and to answer his interview. So he really congratulated me. He said, I still remember his word. He said that I know you're just a half-blooded Bukidnon, but your courage and your determination to finish your college is more than full. So with that reason, I'm going to accept you or to hire you for this scholarship. And that's the thing that make me able to finish my college. And funny also, same with the scholarship that Father YAH provided for me during my high school days. After I guess just one batch after I graduated, the scholarship also ceased to exist now. And so I would really say YAH has the answer of our problem. Even before we had the problem, he had the solution of our problem. And I'll lift all the thing that we're facing now, believing that he has the answer of this thing. I'm just hoping and praying against hope, praying, hope against hope, prayer against prayer. That's not my end, but I'm hoping that what's this? That this would be another great testimony to tell to the whole world one day. Hope it will not put an end to my young life, but well, say, hope that this is another great testimony to the whole world. And I know I can't make it alone. I need your prayers. Oh, by the way, I am hoping that this is not the end of my young life, but hoping this is another testimony of his deliverance out of the fangs of death. But I can't make it alone. I need your prayers. So kindly include me in your prayers, and so with my family, that Father YAH will be merciful to us. I know I'm not a perfect. I am a sinner too. I love this line of a brother. I am a work in progress. And so I hope will forgive my sins and give me a chance to repent and to make myself a better me. Thank you so much. Until next time, yes, willing. Shalom.